if you're looking for a little sugar, a little spice, a little everything nice, then you, my friends, should definitely continue watching. So before I give you the hello, good people, welcome back to my channel. My name is Tanya Felice. Here on this channel, we chat about all things fragrance, beauty, love, life, the kids, what have you. Guys, I just want to check in with you for a second. So a few weeks ago, we had a tragic loss of one of my really good friends. Her son passed away abruptly. So with school starting back, the kids are either heading back, they're headed back next week, at least here in Georgia or wherever you are. The kids at some point in August, maybe the beginning of September, will head back to school. I say all this to say, are you tuned in? If you are a parent, a godparent, a guardian, a grandparent, if you play some type of significant role, a teacher in a child's life, are you tuned in? And I want you to take a second and leave it in the comment section below. So Tanya, what do you mean, am I tuned in? I asked my child, how did your day go? I asked them, what book did you read? But are you tuned in enough to wait for their response before you move on? So I say all this to say, think about the last book your child has read. Think about the last conversation you've had with your child. Think about what they like about school or what they don't like about school. Think about what they love about math or what they hate about math. Think about what extracurricular activities they want to try, but they may be too afraid. So I just say all that to say, when you're about to absolutely lose your mind, think about tuning back in and figuring out a different way to react, or tuning in and making sure you know exactly what your children love, like, dislike, and why. It may just be a simple conversation with you that makes all the difference. So without further ado, guys, listen. We have to talk about this new fragrance release, Vanilla Diorama, by Maison Christian Dior. Now, let me just say this. Listen, I told you guys I was not doing any more blind buys, right? I mean, did I really say that? As soon as I saw the fragrance and the fragrance notes, I said, oh, this may be something that's going to capture my attention. So before I even went to purchase this fragrance, I called my favorite Dior rep and I asked her, so what you think? Do we like her? Do we not like her? And she said, I don't like it. It's too sweet. And I said, okay. Is it feminine? Guys, see, I need to tune in. Look at this. Say, hey, Bailey. Hey. So anyhow, is it too sweet, masculine? What do you think? And she's just like, it's too sweet. That's kind of all she gave me. And she left it at the front porch. So if you want to know more about my thoughts and what I actually think about this fragrance, because if you can see me now, I'm already glowing. But if you want to know what I truly think, guys, then you should definitely continue watching. So guys, I'm going to go ahead and get to the logistics, the quick logistics of this fragrance, right? You know, I don't like to dive into, this is the bottle that it comes in, that's the packaging, you know, this is what the fragrance looks like, that type of thing, okay? So what I will say is this fragrance comes in the Maison Christian Dior Classic Chic bottle. It comes in 3 different sizes. This is, I think, the 1.3 and it retails for $110. They have a second size up, which is the 4.2. It retails for $250, and then they have a 8.5, in which retails for $350. So with me, I probably would never get either of those because, guys, take Cashmere. Yeah, I jumped on that one. But this one was a blind buy. So here, it's been several fragrance releases within, I think, maybe since maybe April, May, that has been released by Maison Christian Dior that I did not get here in my stores, but I was able to get my nose on it. So the first one was Tobacco. I saw the scent breakdown, I saw the note breakdown, and I was like, oh, I think I gotta have it. And then I smelled the sample and I was like, okay, this is a really nice, chic, classic Maison Christian Dior fragrance, but I didn't need it. I felt like it leaned a bit more on the masculine side for me, and So I never got it. I do have several samples here. Eden Rocks came, and yeah, I was unimpressed. And then Vanilla Diorama came, and yeah, I'm loving it. Absolutely loving it. So guys, when I first think about this fragrance, like I said, this is a little sugar, it's a little spice, it's a little everything nice. On first spray, and I'm gonna go ahead and take another first spray with you today because guys, this is my absolute fragrance of the day. So I'm gonna go ahead and give myself another whiff. Yep, I'm tapping, but really I shouldn't be tapping. I'm gonna go ahead and give myself another whiff. So guys, first impression. When I first smelled this, I said, well, I'm thinking that Ombre Nuit by Dior, as well as Spiritueuse Double Vanille by Guerlain has had a baby. Tanya, why is that? This fragrance is a little warm, it's a little spicy, that vanilla is there, it's sweet, it's a little boozy, but it still has a citrus aspect that picks up. So when I first spray it, I kind of get a sweet, spicy, yet underlying citrusy scent. So that's why these two first came to mind for me. Now, what I can say is the story behind this fragrance is simply centered around a gourmand pastry, Christian Dior's mystery gourmand pastry. So this is a pastry that was evidently created for him or a specific restaurant, Maxim's, in Paris. So it's said to be a mystery delicatessen because no one has really ever saw the pastry, but they know of the pastry. So that's why this is considered to be a gourmand. Now for me, I started reading a few reviews on Fragrantica, and I see where people are noting that the fragrance is really sickly sweet, or they're saying it's too sweet. And for me, guys, I don't get that it's sickly sweet. I just get that there is a sweet undertone to it, but it's not a sickly sweet to me, right? So this is considered to be a gourmand. Some of the notes are orange, pink pepper, lemon. So that's that top note breakdown that kind of puts me in the mind of fragrances such as Ombre Nuit, or even something such as Bal d'Afrique, right? So we know that Bal d'Afrique has some type of citrusy opening, but it's just kind of a very unique type of scent, such as Ombre Nuit. And then mid notes is cacao, cardamom, and rum. And the base notes are bourbon vanilla, sandalwood, and patchouli. For me, this fragrance is not a flat fragrance. I deem this fragrance to be a very much so round fragrance. I say that because when I first spray it on, as I shared with you, I get a sweetness, but I also get a very citrusy type vibe. And it's not the citrus like you smell in light blue. It's a very much so subtle, kind of powdery type citrus that I get from this fragrance. Like I said, this is something reminiscent of a Bal d'Afrique. So if I had to take you to any other fragrance that this put me in the mind of course, I would say something like Tom Ford's Tobacco and Vanille. I would say Joe Malone's Vetiver and Golden Vanilla. I would say Initio's Side Effect. And guys, I'm looking down, and if I wanted to stay in the house of Maison Christian Dior, I would say it puts me in the mind of like a Tabaccoler, maybe a little bit like Fave, or maybe even Ombre Nuit just in the beginning. So guys, for me, this scent is effortlessly well polished, classy type of vibe. This is a fragrance that I would definitely pull out in fall and winter when I'm wearing my smart casual type of attire. So this is me in a blazer with a nice chunky scarf, some nice jeans, and a nice heel and a nice pump. This may be my fall and winter signature type scent. So this scent for me is just simply one of those unisex scents that lands completely in the middle, right? So I wore this fragrance to an event, and at the end of the event with mask on, someone said to me, "You smell really good. What do you have on?" My friend turned me to the side like, "You smell good. What do you have on? I smelled you when you first came in." Now, for me, this is not a fragrance that's beast mode, that's jumping out at you, but evidently it's hanging around for me for about 5 hours because people still smelled me. What I will say is, this is a scent that I feel like if it was a kind of you can have whatever you like type of thing, right? It's that type of vibe for me. I also have already found a great layering combo already. So remember I told you that people are saying like, oh, some people are saying like it's too sweet. Not for me. So for me, I've always wanted for Ombre Nuit to be just a little bit more sweeter, right? It's a little bit more on that fresh, powdery, citrusy end with the amber there, but I want it to be a little sweeter. So when I got this fragrance, I said, oh my God, somebody was reading my mind. But even with this, I've already taken Kayali's Vanilla 28 and just sprayed one layer over it. And I smell amazing. I smell delicious. It's almost like a treat. I've created my own dessert over here because this one is good. I absolutely love it. And it's so funny. I actually wore this fragrance for about 3 days before I came to talk about it with you because I wanted to really think about what I was feeling. And where this takes me to is fall and winter. I cannot wait to wear this. I've asked several people what they thought about this fragrance. I just came back from talking to my neighbor and she said, oh, I keep getting a whiff of a smell from you. And I said, really? So I walked up to her. When I walked up to her, she was like, I don't smell it. So then I turned around to kind of go back up the street to my house. And as I was walking, it was a slight little breeze. And she said, oh, there it is again. She said, it's so weird. She said, but it smells so good. And I'm like, yes, honey, you better do those disappearing acts and then come back and like magic. This one, guys, I absolutely love. This is one that I'm saying, go get your nose on it. Get your nose on it, especially if you love those notes. Because for me, like I said, it's not a flat scent. It's a very much so round scent. I do smell the citrusy vibe, but yet and still, I still get that a little warm spiciness to it. So if you like any of the scents, that Tom Ford, what did I say? Tobacco and vanilla, Initio side effect. If you like that Bal de Freak, if you like Ombre Nuit, this is one that you may like as well. Don't be alarmed by the gourmand aspect of it because it's not too gourmand that you're gonna be like, oh Lord, not that sweet. This is a Maison Christian Dior gourmand. So that's very much so an elevated level of classiness for me that comes from this house. If you want to know more about this fragrance, go ahead and leave a comment down below. Let's have a conversation about it. Let's chat about it. I'll give you the nitty gritty about it. Whatever question you have about this fragrance, please feel free to reach out. There are a few other reviews that I've saw online. I actually saw one come through today while I was filming this for you, but I did not watch it because I didn't want to be swayed. I think I've watched one video and a half of another one like a week or two ago, and I'm like, okay, let me cut it off. But when I got this fragrance, honey, in the mail, I'm like, oh honey, I got my whole soliloquy all about it already. So guys, that's all for today. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe if you enjoyed the content. Share this video with a friend. And guys, don't forget what we talked about in the beginning of this video. Make sure that you stay tuned in. That's all for now, and have a great weekend. Bye now. Let's connect on Instagram at It's Perfectly Peachy.